All right, it's day 2 of the new 100 days, which means it's day 71 of the year of daily insights. And I guess I want to start out by telling you that I just started again making full, meditation top priority. And by doing that, it was maybe 3 hours after yesterday morning's meditation. I think combined with meditation was my intention. The fact that I know my connection to myself is number one. The fact that I know that there's going to be another hour of meditation and all this stuff. But it was probably 3 hours afterwards that I had an idea for a book that is so unbelievably exciting to me that I'm having a hard time not just immediately starting it. It just feels so obvious and so good and new and simple that I can't say what it is yet because I want to get it out on paper and have it be there. But it was yesterday that was the first day of really creating an intention to go back to self-connection. Because before that, it's very easy to have created so much stuff in abundance that your outside world starts to get so good that, again, you go, you can miss a little of meditation here and there, and you stop making your connection to yourself your priority because everything else seems so good already. I'm sorry, I'm getting a notification that's interrupting me on my computer. So anyway, yesterday I had this idea and immediately said yes to it, and I'm going to keep going and get this down on paper immediately. And I promise that's partly because I meditated. It's so funny how much at that time I could have very well been stressed by something in politics, something about what someone said about me or what people are saying on Facebook, and my mind would have been filled with just nothing. And most of us walk around all day with our mind full of things that are just things going on versus insights and ideas. And when you connect to yourself, you create a space where these insights and ideas can show up. And one thing that I realized too is a lot of people say, I meditate for 10 minutes and 20 minutes, and obviously that's way better than nothing. But most of my insights and ideas show up. Most of the biggest transformations I have in my meditation have been showing up consistently around 47 to 48 minutes in. It's almost like there's a you that's egoic and wants to fix stuff and trying to get somewhere. So you start meditating, and the first half an hour is like all these thoughts are coming out. Okay, what's that thought? And what am I? And you're judging everything, and you don't notice that you're doing that. So for the first half hour, you're sitting here in a fight with yourself, and you don't even know it. You think, I got to get somewhere else. Okay, I don't even know how to meditate. I don't know what I'm doing. It's not working today. These are the thoughts that you have in the first half hour. So in the first half hour, it's just chaos. And if people are meditating for 10 to 20 minutes and stopping, they're stopping still in the chaotic state. It feels like around a half an hour that you start to realize, what am I trying to fix? Who's fighting? What am I arguing with, right? So at 30 minutes to 45, it's like you're single. So with yourself. So the first half an hour is like a breakup with the egoic self. And you don't realize that that's not you. So when you think it's you, it's pulling apart. It feels really depressed. It feels sad because you're breaking up with yourself. When you sit here and connect to yourself, you'll feel this old you the first half an hour that you think is you going, what am I doing? I don't get this. This is crazy. So it's fighting, and then finally go, who's judging all of this? Who's calling this crazy? Who thinks I should be somewhere else? Why am I not okay with where I am? So after a half an hour, you start to see that, and now you're not in this fight with yourself. So it's like the egoic fight left. And then from 30 to 45, it's like you're single. So the first half hour, you broke up with yourself. Then the next 15 minutes, you're single. And then you start to feel your soulmate show up, where you that's in the alignment to be received. In other words, you've cleared all this out, and now you're in this big open heart space. And 45 minutes in, something new starts to come in. This is what my experience is. I know that everyone has something different, but something new starts to come in because you've made yourself so open and receptive for that to happen. So you let this pain fall off, then you're single where you're just staying there. Now, usually after a half an hour, you feel good enough that most people stop, but they just left right before insights can show up. because it's almost always around 47 minutes that ideas and possibilities and all these things show up. And sometimes if you do at least an hour, those ideas will show up later in the day, but you'll be so receptive for them to show up because your mind isn't full of a bunch of crap. So after an hour, a lot of times the benefits of meditation show up after you do it. So if you go a full hour, it's like going to the gym for a full hour. It's resistance and strain there, but then the rest of your day you start to feel really good. Well, it's the same with meditation. The benefits of meditation show up much more after you're done that day. So some people go, it's not working, and they don't understand how many ways it's working that just don't fit the story of what you thought working would be. So for me, after an hour of meditation, I immediately later in that day, boom, an idea for the most exciting thing, and I can feel myself changing and being receptive of that. So I just want you to know that's there and to have hope for yourself if, the first half an hour feels painful, so you stop. Go back in it, go an hour, and maybe it'll seem like nothing happened that day, but that doesn't mean nothing happened. Nothing happened that you decided should have happened, and only your small you is the one that's deciding anything should happen. That's not you. That's the small you. That's the story of you. That's the belief that it should be a certain way. And one of the greatest things about meditation is that it starts to eliminate your expectations so that it's not this way, it's this way. And then you make yourself receptive to something more and more and more. So that's my day 2/day 71 of Year of Daily Insights. I'm really excited to get writing my book because it's so cool, and I'll tell you all about it once it's done and once we have, once it's finished and once there's an announcement about it. So it showed up, and I want you also to know there's a total book in you. There's a video series in you. You're also a star. We're all stars, just most of us aren't trying to live it. And I really believe that we all have infinite potential for anything. And you are just as worthy of creating a book as any other author is. And the goal is just to allow yourself to be in the alignment where you're not in your old story all day and in a space of magic. So try meditating an hour a day and see what happens after a few weeks. See what happens after you clear out those old beliefs. So day 2.